So hello everyone, welcome to another video. And I know, yes, it's been a lot of days, but you know the reason, right? Anyway, so in this video we'll make the save and load system for levels, and also we'll see how to make checkpoints. So this is where we left our project, and by project I remember one thing that I want to tell you guys, that I've made a Discord server for our channel. And it is not just a regular fan club type of server. If you want to learn gdevelop or interested in game development, this server is for you, because you can get live updates of my new videos, and if you're a developer you can also share your projects here. If you have any doubts or feedbacks, you can directly ask them in the server. And also the main thing, I'm also going to upload the project files of these tutorials so you can recheck it quickly. That's it. Now let's make the game. So now let's make the save and load system. And if you're wondering what the hell is this, don't worry, just check out my previous videos on this playlist. Here I have explained everything in detail. So just to explain how saving and loading will work, let's see this diagram. So here we have levels, which is the global variable. So we'll just store it in the storage when we complete any particular level. And also we'll retrieve this value whenever we start the game. And same goes with the checkpoint system. While previously what we were doing was we were just retrieving the values from the variable without even storing them. So when you complete every level and restart the game, it will not have the record of you completing that level. So this was just the basic concept, and now let's make it. So for that I want you guys to come to the events of level 1 and scroll down where we changed the scene when we were completing a level. This one. So here, as you can see, we have this boolean child variable of the global array variable called levels. So we just need to save this value and retrieve it in the starting of the game. So go to the action and just type write and select this one, write a value. And here, as you can see, we have three options. So first one is nothing but the storage name. You can give any name, but just to make it easy to understand, I'll just name it level 2 because we are storing the values of level 2. And in the group name, let's name it levels. And in the expressions, you have to specify what you are storing. In our case, we are storing second child variable of global variable called levels. Is it getting complicated? Alright, let's understand this. So we have three child variables of levels, and as they are boolean, they only contain two values, true and false. And I've assigned it to check if level is unlocked or not. So true means the level is unlocked and false means it is locked. And we'll just store these values, true and false, and we'll retrieve it. That's it. That's all we are doing. So just go to this button and select variables, global variables, select number variable and select level 1. That's it. And now we'll do same for the level 2 also, and we'll just change the storage name to level 3 as we are storing the value of level 3 there. And also the global variable will be level 2. That's not level 2, that's actually level 3, but name goes with level 2, right? You understand it, because array starts with 0, so 2 is the number 3 specifically. Anyway, just copy this and go to the events of level 2, scroll down and paste it here. And I'll tell you what to change. Just change this 2 to 3 and change this 1 to 2. That's it. And we are not doing this for level 3 because we don't have any level after level 3. If you have, you can just copy and paste for each level. Alright, so this was the basic write concept. That's how we'll store the values of levels. And now let's see how we'll retrieve these values. So just go to the main menu and here add an event and just move it to the top. Alright, and in the action, type read and select this action, read a value. So this one is also same as the right one. We have three different options here, and you are familiar with the storage name and the group. So in the storage name, we'll type that storage name that we want to retrieve. That means the level 1 and level 2, right? So first we'll just check for level 2, and in the group we'll just name the group of the levels that we gave. But here, as you can see, in the place of expression we have scene variables. So what the read action does is that it reads the value from the storage and then it put it inside the scene variable so you can use it. Simple, right? But there's a catch. Remember that we had the global variable for the levels and not the scene variable. So we have to make the scene variable that will be identical to our global variable. So just go to this button and here we'll add a variable. So just add the variable and let's name it levels. And just change it to array and add 3 childs for our 3 levels. So as you can see, we have 0 for level 1 and respectively for every levels, and just change it to boolean. And first level will be always unlocked, so just make it true, and other will be false. Okay, hit apply, and now let's select the variable. So for level 2 we will select level 2. That's it. That's how you will read the value or retrieve the value from the storage. Now I'll copy and paste this action and make it for level 3. So it's done, but we also have to change this condition of global variable to scene variables, because our values are stored in scene variables now because of the read actions. So just double tap in this condition and open up the scene variables and select the boolean variable and just hit apply. That's it. And now you can copy and paste this condition for other conditions. Just paste it here and delete the other one and change it to level 2. So now let's see if it works. So let's preview it. And as you can see, we are in the level selector and I'll select level 1. So when I complete this level and press escape, so as you can see, I have completed the level 2, but let's check if it is stored in the storage. So I'll just close this preview and I'll preview it again. So as you can see in the main menu, it retrieved the value that I have completed the level 2 previously. Alright, and that's how it's done. So in the level 2, when I complete this level, I've completed all of these levels, and even when I close it and preview it again, I have all of these levels completed. So that's how you make storage for the levels, and you can also do this for everything, like from high score to your coins, everything. So that's how you do it. And now let's see how to make checkpoints. So in this video we'll cover the basics of the checkpoints, that how it works, and later on in this playlist we'll also add some functionalities to these checkpoints, like to save the values of health and number of ammos, and specifically the number of enemies, because you don't want the enemies to spawn again even after you kill it. Okay, so let's just get started. So first of all, just go to the level 1. So for this video I'll just make it for the level 1 and you can just duplicate it for the rest of the levels. Alright, so let's just start by adding new objects. Just go there and in the asset store type sign, because we need something to make it a checkpoint, right? So let's take this signboard and add it to the scene. So we will use this signboard as our checkpoint. For this level, let's just make 2 checkpoints, and with the same procedure you can also make more checkpoints. So just duplicate this signboard and let's add it to the scene. Alright, so for the differentiation I just made the second checkpoint bigger. And now let's see what we have to do in the events. So in the events I'll add one more group and we'll name it checkpoints. Alright, so let's just first understand how this is going to work. So let's assume we have 3 points, x, x1 and x2. Here x is the initial position of the character and x1 and x2 are the 2 checkpoints. So first we'll delete our character from the scene, and depending on what checkpoint she cleared, we are going to create her in the scene. Like for example, if you play the game for the first time, you'll start from the position X, and if you cleared any checkpoint, let's say checkpoint number 1, and even if you restart the game, you're going to start from checkpoint number 1, and same goes with checkpoint number 2. But yes, don't forget to note down the coordinates of initial position and both checkpoints. So for the initial position, the X is 172 and Y is 838. Although the Y is not going to change, so it will be a constant. We just have to see what's changing in the X. So I'll just take her and drag her to the checkpoint number 2. Alright, and we'll just note down the number of or the value of X. So in the x1 position, the value changes to 761. And again, I'll do this for the checkpoint number 3 or the checkpoint number 2. Here the value of x is 1724, right? 1724. Okay, so we have these values of x1 and x2, and now we can just delete her. We don't need her anymore.
Why are we still here?
Alright, so let's just go to the events and let's see what we have to do here. So as you can see, I have this checkpoint group. I'll just move it to the top and just add an event below or sub event of this group. And in the condition, we'll add one scene variable that we'll name checkpoints. So in the condition, add number variable and select the scene variables and just type here checkpoints. Okay, and we'll check if it is equals to 0. So initially obviously it's going to be 0, but the 0th value of the checkpoint scene variable will denote the starting position or the initial position of that character, and that's 172/838. Are you getting my point? If not, just stay with me, you'll get it. So here add one more condition, that at the beginning of the scene, select this one, and also add one more condition of trigger once while true. This condition is so important because you're going to create her, so you just have to create her once, and in the action we'll just create that character. So go to the actions and type create, select this one, select our character Chloe, and here you have to put the values depending on the checkpoints. So 0 was for the initial position, so here we will just type 172 for the x and 838 for the y, and we're going to create her on the base layer. That's it. Now do nothing but just copy and paste this condition thrice, because we have three things: the initial value, the checkpoint number 1, which is one value, and the checkpoint number 2. And now we also change the value of the creation. So here in the x position, we'll change it to 761. That was the position of checkpoint number 1. And here we'll change it to 1724. That was our checkpoint number 2. That's it. But we also want to store this value and retrieve it, just like we did for the level ones. So for that, just add one event below here, and in the condition, check if Chloe is in collision with our checkpoints, checkpoint number 1. Okay, so if she is colliding with checkpoint number 1, we want to change the value of checkpoints to 1, and in the action type number of scene variable, change the number of scene variable, select this one and select checkpoints and set it to 1. That's it. And now we also want to write this value in the storage, so add an action and type here write, select this one, and again we have the same scenario where we want to type in the storage name, storage group, whatever. So I'll just name it CP, which means checkpoint, and let's name it CP1, that's our checkpoint number 1, right? And in the group we'll just name it CP, and in the expression we'll store 1. And now I'll copy and paste this whole event, and we'll change this to checkpoint number 2, which was sign 1 2, and write this value to 2, and also change the checkpoint to 2. That's it, I guess. And now we'll also have to read this value. So here in the top, in this whole event, add a condition that read a value. So I'll write here CP1 and the group name CP, and select the scene variable checkpoint. That's it. Alright, so now let's see if all of this works. So I'll just start the level 1, and as you can see, this was my initial value, which was x. Okay, and when I get in collision with this checkpoint number 1 and will press exit, so I'm in the level selector, and when I again press 1, I'm starting from our checkpoint number 1. Okay, And now if I go to the checkpoint number 2, which is this, and hit exit, and then again if I start, I'm starting from our level number, checkpoint number 2. And this also works if you close the window, just close it and preview it again. It will read the value. I've told you, right? So when I click 1, see, I'm starting from a checkpoint number 2. But there is a catch. If I want to start from the initial position, now I cannot do this without, changing it manually in the codes. So let's make one more thing, that when we start the level, it should also ask the player if he wants to start from the checkpoints or from the initial position. So just go to the main menu, the scene one, and we'll add some of the objects. So I'll just go to the asset store, add it to the scene, and add this one too. And I'll also add one more object for text display. Select this one and just name it CP for checkpoints. And in the text, we'll ask the player if he want to continue from the checkpoints or he want to restart the whole level. Okay, hit apply, and now let's add it to the scene. But before, I'll add one more layer from here, and I'll paste these 3 things in that layer. Okay, so let's understand how this is going to work. So if I don't have any checkpoints, it will directly take me to the initial value of the level. But if I have a checkpoint, it will ask me if I want to restart or continue with the checkpoints. If I hit yes, it will start from the checkpoints, and if I hit cross, it will start from the starting. Okay, so let's just add all of these 3 objects in our new layer. And initially this layer will be hidden like this. And when we press the level 1, it will show up like this, and our base layer will be hidden. So it will come up like this. Alright, so that's it for the scene, and now let's see what we have to do in the events. So here first we'll read the value of the checkpoint. So just copy this condition and paste it here. And as you can see, we had CP and CP1 for our checkpoints. So go to the main menu and change it to CP and CP1. And also we'll store it in the different scene variable. So in the scene variable, clear this one, and let's add one scene variable. Add it from here, and let's name it CP and change it to number variable. That's it. And now select this one and hit OK. Alright, so add a new event here, and in the condition, check if the number of scene variable, select this one and select CP, and check if it is greater than 0. So the greater than 0 value means that we have any checkpoints, and when it is 0, it means that we don't have any checkpoints. Okay, and we'll also copy and paste all of these conditions in this event. So copy this one, paste here, copy this one, paste it here, and also copy the trigger once while true. So this is the event where we have a checkpoint and we want to ask the player if he want to start from the checkpoint or he want to restart the whole level. So here we want to unhide this layer and hide the base layer. Okay, so in the action, add hide the layer, select this one and select base layer obviously, and also add show a layer, select this one and select layer. That's it. And now let's give functionalities to the cross and check. So for that, copy this whole event and paste it here. Just bring it down, and I want you to just change this level 1 to check. And now copy and paste this whole event and change it to X button or that cross. But when we click this cross button, we want to restart the level. So for that, just copy this read action from here and paste it here. Now double tap it and scroll a little bit up and select this one, write a value, and in the expression type 0. And now we'll add one more condition, so these two levels will not overlap each other. So we'll add an action in this event of boolean, select the scene variable one, this one, and name it anything and let it be false. And now copy this condition and paste it in both of these events, but change it to our new variable and let it be false. And also copy this condition and paste it here in the starting of the round, and just change it to true. That's it. And we'll add one more event, just add it here, and in the condition check if key is pressed and select escape, and here copy and paste this hide layer and change it to our new layer, and we'll show our base layer. And also copy this action and paste it here and change it to true, and also copy this condition and paste it here and just change it from greater than to equals to. That's it. And now let's see if it works. So as you can see, when I click the level 1, it is asking me if I want to start from the checkpoints or not, and if I press cross, it is starting from the initial position. But when I clear a checkpoint and hit escape and then restart the level, it is again asking me. And now if I click on the check, it is taking me to the checkpoint. So that is it. That's how you make level storage and checkpoints. Well, in this tutorial I just made it for level 1, so you can now copy and paste for rest of the levels. And yes, don't forget to join the Discord, as you'll find the game file of this project there. So that's pretty much it for this video. Take care and thanks for watching.